from back in the day. Here's from 2022 when Todd McMurtry threatened to sue John Greenwald of the Blackvault. We won't play the whole thing, but we'll just play a little bit of it.
To the avalanche of dialogue that started after my last video. That dialogue was in part good, but also in part bad. But I wanted to speak to all of you to give you an update and hopefully maybe even answer a question or two that you have had since I posted my breakdown of Luis Elizondo's IG complaint. As that video was playing for the first time, I was spending the day with my son at the arcade. I never like missing my YouTube premieres. That way I can spend a lot of time with you guys, but time with my son means more than anything. So
family
I left
first,
my office,
always.
And checked in a few times when I could just to say hi. But while at the arcade, I got a text message on my cell phone from a friend. I was told Mr. Elizondo was retweeting a lawyer, and that lawyer was seemingly warning me directly about my video and defaming Mr. Elizondo. Let me read his exact words. Surely hope you don't defame Lou Elizondo. It is well documented that he was the director of ATIP, and any participation in a plan to cast doubt on that #truth is a knowing effort to defame and so
the irony here is Lou didn't even put this shit in his book, if I'm not mistaken. And also, by the way, multiple of Lou's own colleagues said this shit isn't true, like Jay Stratton's wife, Eric Davis, a bunch of people. So like Lou isn't even like out here like trying to fight about this shit anymore. But in 2022, his lawyer was like threatening to sue John Greenwald, pillar of the community, Boy Scout, you know, never involved in any bullshit, you know what I mean? Just FOIA's documents. Weird. Okay, no hard feelings, Todd. I feel like you got your money's worth on that one. So get your money, bro. But it's a big turn from this to like, fuck it, it's all fake and gay. We're never gonna get disclosure.
This information. It's legally actionable. Mr. Elizondo retweeted that not once, but twice. Mr. Elizondo stated first, "It's nice working with professionals. Thank you, Todd." And then a second tweet 14 minutes later.
God, Lou is so fucking... He's a fucking idiot sometimes. He's just so funny. Like, thanks, Todd. Great working with you, bro. Like, okay. All right, Lou. Okay, cool. You guys are teaming up against Greenwald here.
Was the director of ATIP. It has been well documented, and I've been the subject of a campaign of defamatory disinformation by multiple parties. Again, my thanks to Todd McMurtry. Now, one thing to note, my video was still premiering, and what that means is it was playing for the first time. Checking the timestamp, it appears my video was only about 37 minutes into playing of the admittedly long 3-hour total runtime.
You know what he's saying here? The video hadn't even premiered yet, and he's already threatening to sue him over this shit. Can you believe that? Can you believe this shit? Oh, Heather says, will you be doing the Arthur Preston next? Dun, dun, dun. You know we will. You know we will.
In other words, it seemed coordinated. This all seemed strategic, and it seemed planned. All of which is fine and not an indicator of wrongdoing on the part of the attorney or Mr. Elizondo. But they had no idea what I was even saying. The video wasn't even done yet. Their rebuttals about Mr. Elizondo running ATIP pretty much had nothing to do with my video dissecting the claims that he made in his IG complaint. But they floated the D word anyway numerous times, worked in the word disinformation as well, and then Mr. Elizondo retweeted it to his 93,000 plus followers twice, which resulted in quite the firestorm. Now, let me say I can take the heat and insults from that crowd thrown at me in tweet form. I've done it for a long time, so there's no problem there. But that wasn't the part that bothered me about this entire situation. In my view, I did not defame anyone. And to float those words is not only telling, but incredibly damaging to the entire investigative process for someone like me and for people like all of us. We are all on an individual journey, our own, each of us, to discover the truth, whatever that may be.
So pause, look at this shit. Lou's own colleagues say he didn't even run ATIP. Here's Jay Strand. Lou never worked for the ATIP nickname, OSEP action name. He was also not in a support role to the DA program manager, Jim Lukatsky. Jay Strand did provide support to Lukatsky while doing that. You know what I mean? So like Lou's own lawyer says that. I mean, Lou's own colleague says that. Here's Michelle Strand, wife of Jay Strand, saying, nope, I can stream it, but I might have missed some points. Nope, not the director of ATIP because ATIP was not a real program. So, like, even threatening to sue them over that. Let me see this, too. I think I have it here. Fuck it. We're doing it live. So, Eric Davis is saying that shit. Mind you, at the same time, Lou's saying Eric Davis can't lie. Fuck it.
Absolute gospel. When he tells you something, it is absolute gospel truth.
Talking about Eric Davis here.
Eric Davis know why, because he's got this interesting little personality quirk about him where it's almost impossible for him to lie. He is hyper smart. He's almost savant. In fact, if you were to ask him to lie, he wouldn't, because There's no purpose in it. He's a bit like a human Cray computer, a mainframe. He's brilliant. And
so all this accolades, and he even says Lou never worked for ATIP. Here's another one. Lou didn't run any ATIP follow up on that OSAP. Did they threaten to sue him? And honestly, you guys know what? It honestly even feels bad highlighting this shit at this point now. Because when I first started doing it and I started getting harassed and shit about all the hate group shit, like Lou was like the guy, but now he's like not. And it kind of just feels, I just don't, I feel sad for Lou these days. I really do. So yeah, point being, like, why the fuck are you threatening to sue Blackvault back in 2022? Lou,
my path took me to vet the claims of a former taxpayer-paid government employee who made claims about a taxpayer-funded program or effort, whatever he wants to now call it. In his complaint, he utilized my work and, in my view, altered it to make accusations against other taxpayer-paid employees within the Pentagon and the Department of Defense. Albeit my work was a very small part of his IG complaint, it was still a very big claim to make. And in my personal opinion, the story was altered. If it was not, I think that we should ask for more evidence. Am I not allowed to question any of that? What country do I live in if I can't question all those claims, not only made in the complaint, but others made in tweets and podcasts by Mr. Elizondo? What country do I live in where it is wrong to use verifiable evidence, vetting the claims of someone I once paid for through my taxpayer dollars to even have a job? What country do I live in where my efforts to bring as much verifiable evidence to the table, along with properly labeling and expressing my opinion, is legal threat-worthy, veiled or otherwise, to be thrown at me on Twitter in tweet form? The tweets from an attorney and Mr. Elizondo posted online riled up a digital mob before my video was even done playing. The result was a digital lynching by a small but noisy group of Mr. Elizondo's biggest supporters.
Hate group here.
Anyone that has a following and has followers should be careful when posting such legal jargon and veiled accusations. The result is much more damaging than one might think. But sadly, I'm starting to think that was the intent.
Ooh.
Although Mr. Elizondo's attorney has every right to tweet at me, and Mr. Elizondo has every right to do the same.
Not speaking with professionals, Todd. Mind you, again, like I said, Eric Davis is saying this shit ain't true either, bro. And you're saying he can't lie.
It is absolute gospel truth. And for those who know Eric Davis know why, because he's got this interesting little personality quirk about him where it's almost
okay. Anyways, like I said, it honestly feels like punching down now when you talk about Elizondo's fucking bullshit. Let's see.
Now what they're doing is very interesting.
Here's with Arthur Preston. Again, last point, and I don't even dislike, Todd McGritty. I really try not to even dislike him. I don't even really like dislike Lou per se, even though he's like literally to be clear, his fan club is like kind of made murder plots about me, not even kidding.